Hey guys, what's going on? So I'm going to talk about something that's not particularly exciting, and it's not sexy, and it's you're not going to get super thrilled about it, but it is so pivotal to the way that you live your life, and your relationships, and your business, and everything you do is all kind of circled around. It's the core. That's why we call them core values, right? I'm going to talk about core values, and I know that the tendency right now is to tune out and say it's not important because this is it's so underappreciated and yet so I don't get it. Like people know this stuff is important, but they don't actually live their truth. And I was having a really unique discussion with a very wise individual the other day, and we were talking about core values within the nature of business relationships. And one of the things that we were addressing was I have a very specific pattern of a very consistent nature of character within all my inner circle relationships, all of my business associates, all of my mentors. Everyone has this character that I find incredibly important, and it kind of is at the center of everything that I do. And we were talking about Steve Jobs. Now, if you know anything about the story of Steve Jobs, I'll give you the D version, and that's that his personal mission was to put an aesthetically pleasing phone into the hands of everyone in the world. And I am currently holding an aesthetically pleasing little box that has access to the internet and to shooting selfie videos, which does not help my vanity issue. But that's what he does. And that was his purpose, and gosh darn it, he accomplished his purpose. And it's incredible. But if you know him on a personal level, if you know anything about the story of he and his ex-girlfriend or wife or whatever she was, and her daughter, and any of his business associates, what he had to say about him, they could not stand the fella. He was dishonest, he was selfish, he was greedy. And there was so much of this discussion. I'm going to try to just spit out the easy stuff. First of all, he says, sir, I don't think there's ever been people either the people who know you best. When I first met this fella, the very first thing out of his mouth when I asked him what his end goal was, and he said his end goal was to be most respected by the people closest to him. And I didn't really know what that meant. And I've had a very close relationship with this individual for the last year, and I can tell you first and foremost that he's absolutely most respected by the people who know him most. But I didn't understand the gravity of what that actually meant. Because most of the people that you know of, that you have an immense amount of respect for, are respected by people who don't know them very well. All right? And he said, sir, there's very few people out there who are respected by people that know them best, or people who don't know them at all. And I'm going with that. So the story of Steve Jobs. Steve Jobs' core value system did not have anything to do with treating other people well, or being honest in his business dealings, or frankly, anything regarding a concept of love or charity or joy or peace. It was all about money. That was his core value. He was pretty honest about it, honestly. If you look at his commencement address, he was very straightforward about the way that he felt. And he says, at some level, there must have been some sort of divine issue on that man's life to have successfully accomplished what it is that Steve Jobs accomplished. Whatever the nature of the spiritual calling was, that's up for grabs. But there was some sort of purpose associated with his life and his calling. And who are we to say that his value comes from the core value systems with which he treats other people? And that blew my mind. And I'll be honest, I had a very adverse reaction to the concept of people's value not coming from the way that they treated other people. But it was very humbling, because the man is absolutely completely right. The reason why core values are so important is because of how they affect your life and the lives of other people. All right, if you're a dishonest, lustful, selfish, greedy pig, you're gonna destroy your own life. Personally, you're gonna lose a part of your soul to gain something else. Interesting parallels there. What if you gain the whole world and lose your own soul? Like I said, there's so much depth to this stuff that it's so stinking. It's disgusting how few people actually have these discussions. Anyway, I want to leave you with that stuff. I want to leave it open-ended so you can come up with your own interpretation. Feel free to leave some feedback below. I don't really care if you have, I'd like to hear your opinions. I'd like to hear what you think, but I'm just here to give you some food for thought. So dream fearless, as always. Nothing stops passion if passion takes action, and God bless. See you later, guys.